the parable of the good and bad fruit and false prophets, Matthew 7:15 to 20 and Luke 6:43 to 45. I'm using Tom Wright's translation of Matthew and Luke's Gospels in looking at this parable. You could say this parable is one of warning or to be alert and is therefore very appropriate for the Advent season. Matthew 7:15 to 20. Watch out for false prophets. They will come to you dressed like sheep, but inside they are hungry wolves. You'll be able to tell them by the fruits they bear. You don't find grapes growing on thorn bushes, do you? Or figs on thistles? But in the same way, good trees produce good fruit and bad trees produce bad fruit. Actually, good trees can't produce bad fruit, nor can bad ones produce good fruit. Every tree that doesn't produce good fruit is cut down and thrown on the fire, so you must recognise them by their fruits. Luke 6:43 to 45. You see, no good tree bears bad fruit, nor can a bad tree produce good fruit. Every tree is known by its fruit. You don't pick figs from thorns, nor do you get grapes from a briar bush. The good person brings good things out of the good treasure of the heart. The evil person brings out evil things out of evil. What comes out of the mouth is what is overflowing in the heart. The image of false prophets would be a familiar one to the Jews, as we read of criticism of them in the books of Jeremiah and Ezekiel. In today's world, we are only too familiar with distorted messages that we can receive via social media. However, discerning who is speaking the truth and who is not is more difficult. As we try to discern what is good fruit from what is bad fruit, Tom Wright, in his commentary on Matthew's Gospel, suggests that fruits cannot simply be showy displays of apparent spiritual power. False prophets cannot produce that sort of thing. What counts is something deeper, more personal. Wright goes on to say, moral reformation, which leaves a heart untouched, is about as useful as tying a bunch of grapes onto a briar bush. Jesus is inviting his hearers to a way of life which is so completely new that it will need a change of heart, a change deep down in the personality. What a challenge for each one of us. Paula Gooder, in her book The Parables, also gives us some helpful words and advice about putting the message of this parable into action. This parable gives us a powerful but nevertheless helpful reminder of the importance of what we say and do. It is very tempting to dismiss cruel words or thoughtless deeds as not meaning anything. These parables in their different versions remind us that they always mean something. They reveal what is in our hearts, who we really are. This is worth more than a little reflection. Paula leaves us with the challenge to reflect on our words and actions this week. Would people consider that we are a fig tree or a thistle?